Better call an exterminator.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Aatchik, Emerald Radian. This is an insect druid that makes insects when it enters based on the number of creatures and artifacts in your graveyard. And then if an insect I control dies, she gets a counter and each opponent loses a life. This is very similar to a Zoni Thousand-Eyed, but with more insect synergy. You get to self-mill, fill up your graveyard with tons and tons of creatures and a couple artifacts that mill so you don't mind hitting them. And then you make an army of bugs. And if those bugs happen to die, or if you sacrifice them to a repeatable sacrifice outlet like Warren Soul Trader or Woe Strider, then you get to drain your opponent, make a giant commander, and swing in for lethal. And because you're going wide, you can also finish off your opponent with something like a Craterhoof Behemoth, or just playing other good cards that are in Golgari colors. A lot of these cards either mill or bring things out of the graveyard. Because you want to have a very full graveyard with Aatchik, the things that fill up the graveyard are also going to benefit from it. Things like Old Stick Fingers and White of the Reliquary grow as you get more creatures in your graveyard, holding the line, filling up the yard, and giving you an even larger army of bugs for when you can finally play Aatchik. And you don't have to feel bad about sacrificing your cards because that just adds to the count in the graveyard. In fact, you might want to sacrifice some of your own cards with things like Priest of Forgotten Gods to remove your opponent's threats and do some ramping. So let's take Aatchik into the queue and make a couple of bugs. Gitrog, Ravenous Ride. They're going to be attacking me, sacrificing their creatures, and drawing cards and putting lands into play. Ideally, I would be mulliganing into, like, ramp or removal, but I don't know. I really, really want to get to do my thing with the deck more than I want to stop them from doing their thing. Now, does that mean I might get absolutely stomped? Sure. But I've had an awful lot of games where you play one piece of removal and then your opponent leaves, and I don't want that. I want to get to play Magic, because I love playing Magic. So let's start with a nice turn 1 Surveil. It's an orb. That's staying on top. I like that orb. It's a good orb. It's going to mill both of us. And the more we mill, the more my jet can collect. This is also a milling artifact. Hi, Selvala. Kami Bamboo Groves. Play it. Get another land and play. Wonder if they'll play another land this turn too. Yep, the Wooded Foothills. These untap and I mill. Land and Blossoming Tortoise. Cool. I did not get a land there though, which is tough, unfortunate, whatever. So I'll play the Mana Dork this turn, the Bramble Familiar. All I know is mill. But next turn, I should be getting the Moxen, this Mox Jet, since I'll have definitely 4 more if I get this down. Maybe even like Stitcher Supplier first. Arcane Signet, they ramp. They can play Gitrog next turn. They only have a wee sacrificeable though. Oh no! Bitter Triumph. That's okay, a wee sacrificeable is still good. I got some kind of removal here. And I mill and then I mill. 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 Reanimate. Hold up. Hold up. You know what? I'm gonna Stitcher Supplier first. Couple more options. I'm probably gonna have that prime time. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna grab Primeval Titan. It can block and trade with Gitrog. I could Bajuka their Bog and grab Shifting Woodland. Doesn't get rid of that much, but it still clears out their graveyard. And now they mill, so they refill their graveyard anyway. From 2 lands to 4. Yeah, I didn't bother with my graveyard as much when I saw the Primeval Titan because I have this Jet Collector and I should be able to reanimate. The Gitrog Ravenous Ride. Now, if they had something big to sacrifice here, I would definitely be blocking. But they don't have something to sacrifice, which makes me maybe not want to as much. Still have 1 mana here, so I'm also going to put the Citrus Supplier in. Or 2 mana. Yeah, it's like I want to have that ramp, but I don't need it. Stop them from doing the thing. Mill the dog. I hope I get a land, though. That would be nice. There we go. Verdant Catacombs. Let's crack that open and grab a swamp. Actually, a forest. And I can now turn a land... turn my land into one of the things in my graveyard. As an example, I could turn it into a Blossoming Tortoise and to swing in to self-mill and grab some more stuff. But I want to go for Jet Collector here. Go to combat. Collect my jet. There it is. There's my jet. I'm looking at my 2s. Yeah, I have an Aftermath Analyst. I have the Satyr Wayfinder. I'm an Aftermath Analyst. I have so many lands in the graveyard this game. If I transform it into Liliana, she does die to state-based action. She comes in with no loyalty. So they can play Gitrog and they can hit Rog. I'm gonna tap this. I'm going for maximum self-mill here. I know this is super greedy, but yep. You're right. I could have turned that into a copy of this, but I wouldn't have had enough mana to activate it. Can you turn it into Jet Collector? Yes, and it would make a Mox each time. All right, so there we go. Tapping this. Because it would be a new instance of the creature, I think. So I could play Aatchik, and she would make 12 things. But I want to do this. Yeah! I also just noticed I had a Lumra, so I could have also just grabbed the Lumra there. Hey, old Stickleys, come out and be bigger than their stuff. Swing for 2. They do have that Restless Cottage. Mill 'em! Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like, if you turned this into a Jet Collector in your graveyard, you get the Mox, and then you could do it again on the next turn and get the Mox again. I'm gonna mill a little. Or a lottle. I want Aatchik to go absolutely crazy. They're drawing off Castle Locktwain. Are blockers too big? They have to remove this first or give this Death Touch. Sweet, and that's going to be game. I have enough mana to do everything in my deck. A bug that's gonna make more than a dozen bugs. GG. Mishra, claimed by Gix. I have no green mana in this hand, but I have an Orb and Liliana. Which is not enough. I'm gonna mulligan. I'll keep this. I have some Artifact Enchantment removal. It can also be ramp if I'm desperate. I have some ramp. I have some self-mill. And I have Blood Artist. These are all really nice. So I'll play the Insidious Fungus to start. Mishra, claimed by Gix, wants you to attack with lots of things. Specifically, though, with the Phyrexian Dragon Engine, because that's how you meld and turn him into the Mishra, lost to Phyrexia. If that happens, you've probably won the game. Like, you probably have just won. I could go for the Bramble Familiar, hoping to get to Binding the Old Gods next turn. This is pretty good. Normally, I would go for the Command Tower, but because I have the Spy Master's Vault that I would like to have untapped, I'm going to grab just basic Swamp. Hi, Florian. If I lose life, they get card advantage, allowing them to look at the cards and to grab one to play that turn, but only if I've lost life pre-combat. I've got 1, 2. 1 Bajuka, 1 Bog. Trying to pick out which piece I want to play here. I'll play Bramble Familiar. And I could wait to Bajuka Bog until I see the Phyrexian Dragon Engine in their graveyard, because it can be unearthed. But I just want to get to 1 more mana. She does cost 6, and eventually I'll want that. More importantly, this costs 5, and this is really good removal. If I wanted to, I could have played the tap land and held up this ability to either ramp or destroy Witch's Oven. They shoved my Bramble! I will chump block. Liliana of the Veil, would you like to make me sacrifice my insidious fungus? They sure would! Binding the old gods, and I'm gonna hit Florian, so it can't drain me for life. Liliana making me discard, I really don't mind. Because that's just another creature in the graveyard for my commander. See if they can empty out their hand here. Mishra claimed by Gix, chilling on the battlefield, getting ready to do some draining. Oh, Lethal Demolition to make an army of little guys. Oh, I'm being asked why Roaming Throne isn't in here. I'm actually going to drop 6 instead. Roaming Throne's not in here because I don't have that many insects or that many druids to do synergy with. I say that with, like, one of my few very good insects in hand. Getting double triggers of both Aatchik's Drain and Aatchik's, who's it gonna be? That one. Aatchik's Drain and Aatchik's Bug Making. Like, they're both good. Mishra returns. Their hand is empty, so plussing from Liliana's pretty free. They picked a token. Yes, because they have 2 different paymakers there. They feel that it is safer to lose a token than risk losing both of their good cards. Which, that's a pretty common strategy when you're dealing with that card. So I could go for Aatchik, making a bunch of bugs, or I could play these 2. I'm gonna go for this, because I roll greed. I can survive a hit. If these little guys attack in, I can kill and trade with them. Oh, hi, Liliana. Plus or minus. They're going to get to draw a bunch of cards here. I'm going to drop these 2. And then I'm going to go for just, like, a huge amount of drain, followed by a big Spy Master's Vault activation. It's Magical Hats. It is. It's Magical Hats from Yu-Gi-Oh!, but in Magic. Nice. It's a 3/4 Blood Artist. Also, now there's 10 cards in my graveyard. Yippee! Now let's do it. Check out this chick. Bam! That's a lot of bugs, and if they die, you're losing 2 life for each of them. Hi, Jadar. Jadar will make more zombies. Like, that said, though, like, you can totally 150 million% put Roaming Throne in a stack. Especially if you go, like, all in on the insect theme. Just go for it. She dies. They lose a bunch of life. Aatchik gets kind of huge. Gonna move a blocker out of the way. Congratulations, you get to draw. Also, lose life. Swinging in with everyone. Another creature has died. They draw more cards. You could Maskwood Nexus. First we Roaming Throne, then we Maskwood Nexus. And eventually, we'll win them all! I'll just drop those and play Hive. That's true, the card Become Anonymous is also very Magical Hats, where you turn a bunch of cards face down and shuffle them around. Mishra's research desk. Hey, that's your desk! Hi, Karn. And we win. Got an awful lot of bugs there. GG. Hashaton, Scarab's Fist. They discard to reanimate. It's really good. It's really strong. It's very scary. I have a way to kill a thing, so I'm going to keep this. Even though it's a weird kill that's undirected and everything else, it's still a kill. What they're going to want is they're going to want a big scary thing in hand, 3 mana, and that's pretty much it. A way to discard. Some cards even discard themselves. But ways to discard, especially looters, are really good with Hashaton. But some cards with cycling also make it into the deck. Hashaton turns those cards into zombies, meaning that they're still in the graveyard and can be reanimated later. I'm gonna start by milling myself. 3 creatures, nice! Aatchik likes that. I like that. Arcane Signet, Springleaf Drum. Springleaf Drum, I guess it's more mana with a cheap commander. And they notably didn't play anything that I can hit here. All of these lands are going to come in tapped next turn. I could still play the Accursed Marauder just to fill up my graveyard more, but I don't think that's worth it. So I'll just pass the turn. Yeah, you're not usually attacking or blocking with Hashaton. You have so much mana. Ramp. Don't like it. Too much ramp. Ew, Jace. Yeah, he loots. Also, I want him to die. Jace, leave this place. Does this get countered? Counter spell! Alright, I'm exiling your graveyard. Aha, get out of here. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings land cyclers, like, I run them in my Hashaton, or I won one of them. I run the swamp grabbing one, the swamp cycling one, because it's good enough. All right, so they have enough mana, they can reanimate anything in their hand, or make a 4/4 token copy of whatever. No, they dropped a reanimation spell. They must not have a big boy? Maybe they just want to cast something. They have 4 mana. I wanna ramp. So I'm gonna try to reanimate my Blossoming Tortoise. I did get a land. Cool. And I'll swing in with the Citrus Supplier. They're cycling a Raffian's Tower. Well, that's not a creature. You can't make a copy of it. I'm a little sad I wasn't able to kill Jace. I think people know how I feel about him. He's a dookie garbage boy. And the most recent stories, the ones from Tarkir, he's still a dookie garbage boy. Dark Ritual? What do you need all that mana for? Are you just gonna cast something? If so, what? Oh, Archfiend of Ifnir! Whenever they cycle or discard, there's gonna be -1/-1 counters put on all my creatures. So they use Jace, And they discard. What do you discard? Key to the city. That's just another discard engine. Oh no, my Stitcher's supplier died. And I'm just like staring at my graveyard like, yeah, my Stitcher supplier died. Unfortunately, that's going to kill Aatchik's bugs. Fortunately, Aatchik doesn't mind if her bugs die. She's kind of chill with it if you didn't realize. I didn't get another land here. So I'm going to allow them to draw so I can play the Scoot Swarm. So I can attack with the Blossoming Tortoise. And start making more bugs. Aatchik does not care where the bugs come from as long as they're bugs. And I'm now up to 9 creatures in the graveyard. I can play Aatchik next turn too. I also have a free sacrifice outlet if I can get that far, and eventually maybe a hoof. I certainly wouldn't mind. Jace, how many cards are in your graveyard? It looks like it will be 5, so they can flip them over. Oh, hey, Loran. I mean, a 4/4 Loran ain't nothing to scoff at. That's a thick lady. I'm recruiting bugs. I am recruiting bugs. Do you like to shrink my tort? The tortoise has shrunk! Long live the queen! Another way to discard a collector's vault. I'm going to start with the mill. The thrill of the mill. The boot of the scoot. Deathcap Glade. More bugs. Chunk. And Aatchik. If I wanted to keep them a little bit more under control, I would play Plague Crafter. But I want bugs, and that's what I've got. I've got so many bugs. We each get to draw. Hi, Llanowar Elf. You're kind of boring. So many bugs. If they were to Elesh Norn here, Aatchik would get so big. If they were to Massacre Worm here, I would die. So let's see what they get. Sometimes, by the way, this has happened with my Aatchik, or sorry, that happened with my Hashaton deck before, where I've bricked. All I've gotten are my reanimation spells and my enablers, and not the reanimatables. Happens. I could barely fill up an Oogie Boogie with all these bugs. You're joking. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes. I could have even more bugs if I play a land. Land, please. They're thinking their way through here. A board wipe would make them lose 15. Yeah, 15. Oh no, Aatchik shrank. And then they die, and we win! Go, my beautiful buggies! Nashi Illusion Gadgeteer. As I fill my graveyard to make more bugs, they'll be filling their graveyard so they can bring things back. Able to put any card, a copy of it, into their hand when Nashi enters. He's also got Flash, Menace, and Ward 2, so he's very hard to, well, play around, since he could show up at any time, bring back counter spells, kill spells, anything like that. I'm going to start by bringing out Forsaken Crossroads. It'll scry because it's turn 1. Haywire Might, I'll take it. It is a pretty good chance that they'll be ramping either through a creature or Arcane Signet, something like that early. So having both the Accursed Marauder and the Haywire Might seems pretty good. So I'm going to play Catacombs and Might. Ideally, I'm cracking this open to get the Surveil land, and I see a creature and I just put it in the graveyard to make number go up. But if I can't, I can't. Hedge Maze. What do you put in the graveyard? Anything? Or are you keeping it on top? Nope, they put a Duress in their graveyard. What? You don't think I'm gonna have many targets for Duress? I won't have any targets for Duress. Bloodchief's Thirst has no targets on the board, so they're by the way, focusing removal on this tells me they really, really want that to be around. I'm gonna mill this Chitinous Crawler. just to increase the number of things I have in my graveyard, even though it's a great way to fill my graveyard. So is 6. She's great. It's great. He's great. Tree. Tree's great. Attacks in, mills, and can bring back lands from the graveyard to my hand. We've already used 1 fetch. And more removal. Bitter Triumph this time. Well, at least that's more things in a graveyard for Aatchik. I could either go Head Shredder or Brood Heart. I'm gonna go Head Shredder. Ugh, Rusco. Now, thankfully, I have a way to get rid of him. And I'm going to use it. I have to put full control mode on for this. But it is very worth it, so we are going to bring out a Cursed Marauder. Does it get countered? You can turn it into a... Oh, no, they're gonna flux with me. Rusco leaves the battlefield, returns to the battlefield, and makes a second clock. In response to this sacrifice, I am crewing. So I have an attacker this turn. I'm still sacrificing the Marauder. Awesome. Attacking in for 5. Yes, I would love to mill 2. Okay, I got a land and a non-land, a creature, so that's good for Aatchik. Then this and that. Broodheart Engine. Perfect. And whenever lands are put into my graveyard from my library, whether it's from Manifest Dread, whether it's from Mill, whether it's from Surveil, I'll get the trigger from Head Shredder to bring them back. So that's perfect. If I hit a land here with the Broodheart, I can just grab it, put it back. But they sure have 4 mana. Oh. Reclamation Sage, are you destroying the Shredder or the Broodheart? Okay, Head Shredder. Hey, that's just more bugs for me. Love that. I have 1 black open. Okay, yes. Bing bong ding dong. We all know. I'll keep that on top since it is not something that'll add to Aatchik's count. And I'm casting her. It's fucking time. Of the things I could bring back from my graveyard that could be pretty impactful using Broodheart Engine, Cursed Marauder would get rid of a guy. Haywire Mite, Chitinous Crawler to make copies of things. And then I could play them. That's pretty fun. And they're almost certainly just grabbing one of their removal pieces here. Or they could be going for infinite Nashis and just blink him here. I've seen that too. Do I need more land? I do for Hoof. So if they have a... If they have a counter spell in hand, like, they'll be able to stop some stuff. But otherwise, that's pretty fun. I will attempt to Scorn Bloom Tender, since that taps for 3 and I don't want them using it. Oh, they brought back Rusco, but he has Flash. Okay, great. I hate Rusco, so Rusco with Flash is just... Oh god, why? Chitinous Crawler. It does something at the start of combat, so that's why I want it out here right now. What? I need to make duplicates of stuff. How about a duplicate of... Haywire Mite, because I could play it this turn. And I'm going to attack in... Do I feel like attacking him with the bugs? To get it, and... Yeah, I don't need him for blocking. So many clocks. And Rusco drains, too. Thankfully, the bugs also drain. Insect has died. This is also an insect, by the way, for some insect synergy. And I will exile the Haywire Mite clone. I already played a land this turn. Cast it. Dark Ritual. I lose life, they gain mana, and that's enough mana to cast pretty much anything. That's 10 mana? 4, 3 from the clocks. Oh! It's a deluge! They're killing everything! I will move my commander to the command zone. Bug, 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 bug. And I guess they could just replay Nashi. And then also flicker Nashi, because they have Essence Flux. Better do it soon. It's almost midnight. Play the Virtue of Persistence. None of the cards that I know of are able to do anything there. They almost died to the board wipe, but they didn't. Too bad. It's midnight. They're floating to mana since they know they're going to lose this anyway. So we know what they copied. It was the Dark Ritual. They're still in upkeep. It's almost midnight again. I think I grabbed Chitinous Crawler. As far as the creatures go. A Cursed Marauder, like, it gets rid of this. I could go for the bug. Hitting you. And also, I can try to hoof them. And that's also very dependent on, does Virtue of Persistence stick around? It might not. They still have 5 mana. A little less. Oh no, my graveyard! Oh, you monster. They mill me. And now I have no creatures in the graveyard. I have no graveyard. Ah, dang it. And they have no graveyard either. I can hoof. It's 6 damage. They can double block. I guess. And that's assuming they don't have instant speed removal, which I feel like they probably do, right? You know what? I'm gonna play Huff, and if it gets exiled, great. Ugh, mana drain. All right, they get 8 mana. I assume they will activate Ashiok again, milling me and doing. Oh, okay. By the way, I think that oops was a I was considering milling myself and then exiling from you. So what you gonna do with all that mana? All that mana in your pool. They're gonna make me drool by taking an extra turn. And then casting Emergent Ultimatum. Yeah, it really is making me drool. Great. I wish it could be like the hungry kind, like, man, I can't wait to eat that rat. What a shame. Alright, and the 3 cards they get are Thassa to Blink, Temporal Manipulation, and Displacer Kitten. So there's 2 different Blink engines here, both of which are going to get them another extra turn each turn. So which this means is that they have infinite extra turns, and I'm going to concede. Because infinite extra turns are not... They're not fun to play against, and I've lost. It's just going to take them a while. It's going to take them, if they're doing like 5 damage at a time, it'll take them like 6 of them. That's how it goes. Samut, Vizier of Naktamun. She goes fast, and other cards that go fast, including herself, can draw you cards. If you hit with a creature that entered the battlefield on the same turn it dealt combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card, which is great. It rewards you for playing aggro, and Gruul sure knows how to go fast and hit hard. Is it Llanowar Elf time? Tommy of Bamboo Groves. Okay, that's going to bring in something here. And next turn, they can play Samut. There's nothing I can really do about that. So I think I should either set up my self-mill, play Liliana, make us both discard, try to distract some damage here. Yeah, I'm going to play Liliana of the Veil, and I'm going to plus. Dropping Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. They gotta decide what they want to drop. It's Sunspine Lynx. Aww. That would have dealt so much damage to me. Hold up, they're not playing Samut. Do you not have a third land? Oh, goodness. And reinforced Ronin. That's going to let them deal some extra damage to Liliana. Take her down to 1 loyalty. And we can both discard. Again, I don't really care about their Cursed Marauder right here, so I may as well put it in the grave. Or Aatchik. It'll count towards her numbers. It would trade with the Kami of Bamboo Groves, which... Great. We can do better than that. They didn't have a third land, though, so let's see if they have a third land here. There it is. Scalding Tarn. Sacrifice it. They can get up to 4 mana. So maybe play the Reinforced Ronin and Samut this turn. Probably firing the Ronin either at my face to draw cards or at Liliana. If they want to kill her, that's okay. Like, I'd rather she be alive. Oh, both at her. Wow, they really want to get rid of her. Sweet, but then you don't get to draw cards. Alright, I'm down. I will get the Surveil land, hoping to hit a creature. And if not, it'll get milled anyway. So I'm milling.
Delay, nothing more.
It goes back into their hand. Did mill 2 creatures there. Nice. Would I like to pay 1 to bring 1 back? Yes, I would. And 3 life. Life is a resource. This will mill me even more. This will set up for some sacrifice. I want more mill. Ooh, I should have played the land first so I could play the fungus. That's all right. Now I'm looking at the creatures and all that I have. I might bring that Lumra back since we have so many lands. I love Ripples. Yeah, this is such a great self-mill card. I wasn't that high up on it, but it's grown on me. I've been putting it into commander decks, too. Okay, Ragavan and Ronin. No? Yes? No? Maybe? You like convoking? What's going on here? Friendly rivalry? They're punching my Hobbit. Shouldn't get into the habit of punching Hobbits. I'll block Ragavan. That'll prevent the card draw, and it will let me get the Lumra back. Yep. Reduces the creature count, but I think it's worth it. Oh, the Profane. We're rippling. What do we got? Phyrexian Tower, Izoni, and Llanowar Elves. Yeah, I would like a land, so I'm gonna grab that Phyrexian Tower. It's worth it, I say, bleeding out on the sidewalk. Well, I probably should have played this as the land this turn, so I don't have to bolt it in. I guess it technically lets me cast it. I'll destroy the Reinforced Ronin. So I'm going to block First Strike here. Pay 2. And destroy target artifact. They don't get to draw. Cool. Land that thing. I do not want to pay the 1 here. And I can either go Lumra or Aatchik. It is better... Yeah, ouch. It is better for me to do Lumra first since she mills. And we're milling! Getting all those... Oh my god, that's a lot more lands than I expected. Getting all those lands back. Yeah, that's an adequate number of lands. That's a fine and dandy, okay number of lands to get. Hi, Xanagos. Who's getting extra thick? Somewhat... That's cute. This is a 14/14. It's a chunky bear. No, I don't care what's in there. I can't afford it. Aatchik. I can Binding her, Haywire Might the God, and I might not be winning this turn, but I'm pretty sure I'm winning. GG. Isshin to Heavens as 1. Isshin is going to be doubling on attack abilities. Oftentimes, those abilities will be getting you reanimation, dealing damage, maybe even card advantage, and some of which are based around the samurais and warriors, which have a trigger if they attack alone. But for the most part, it's just some good stuff. We even have the new Sagan available in their deck. This is a nice hand. It has removal. Then it has some good guys. I have a good sacrifice piece here. Ooh, Amped Raptor. Not an on-attack trigger, but can get them some advantage. Play with fire. Paying 1 energy to bot me in the face. I wonder why this is in the deck. It's because it's good. Could be. That gives me choices, though, between, like, what do I want to play? I'll let that thing swing in. And I'm going to use Overlord of the Bailmark to start filling up my graveyard. Ooh, Priest, Vex, Blacks, Blap, whatever. Chupacabra. I already have one other piece of removal in hand. I don't have a great way to go wide for this, but it is good with Fumulus. So I'm gonna hit the Ravenous Chupacabra here. And then White of the Reliquary will be big enough to do some blocking. Oh, nice. Here we go. There's an on-attack trigger. I lose a life, they gain a life. Nice and simple. Actually, I'll play the Phyrexian Tower in case I need to sacrifice this in response to a removal spell. Bloodstained Mire. Crack it open there, fetch. Ooh, for some black and white. Playing Enempakal. Okay, so that's a nasty on-attack move. If they attack with anything, they're going to get some gnomes. She's going to grow. Now, if that's absolutely something you want to trigger, I noticed that they did go for paying a lot of life for that. But why? Why did you shock and bolt that? Maybe they didn't need to. Maybe they miscounted. Maybe they got something really scary. I don't trust like that. How do I feel about cards like White of the Reliquary that are a play on other card names? I think they're all right, especially when it comes to like Modern Horizons and other like referential sets. But they're not my favorite. I'm going to sacrifice this Stitcher's Supplier for 2 mana. And use it to play this Ravenous Chupacabra to destroy Enempakal because she is what I'm most afraid of on this board. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. It was very dependent on how they blocked and if they used, like, those Swords to Plowshares or anything. They didn't. Yeah, there's a lot of those cards that are like callbacks to older cards since Magic's been around for over 30 years. So I have a 9/9. The 9/9 can become a 10/10 eating this Ravenous Chupacabra, getting a land, and then like next turn, I could play Aatchik. They're thinking deeply. It also wasn't a mana tithe because they didn't tithe the Chupacabra. Is this a soul rope? Am I getting roped? Okay, great. That's how it is sometimes. Sometimes you just get salty opponents that are upset that they are not winning. Their rope has run out. And we get to eat the Chupacabra. I will grab Shifting Woodland. Very cool, drew a land. Grab a forest. Play my commander. Swing in with the white, not even gonna wait. Eating up a bug to grab another land. Let's Bajuka the Bog. Back to waiting. And the timer burns out. They take 10 to the face, and now they get priority back again. There is a way to report opponents. Omnath, Locus of All. Omnath, Locus of All, is a 5-color commander that cares about the number of colored pips in each of your spells. When you start your turn, you can reveal the card from the top of your deck, and if it has 3 or more colored symbols, you get some extra mana. And also, you get to put it into your hand. You get to do that either way. But if you get to reveal it, it's more mana. This Omnath also lets you bank your mana, and it turns into black mana. They went first, though, and that is a very nice start. So I'm going to bring out this Verdant Catacombs. I'm trying to decide if I think I need the Shock. I don't think they're going to be doing that much damage to me that early, so I'm going to deal a bunch of damage to myself and bring out the Kami of Bamboo Groves so I can ramp. Llanowar Wastes is going to give me a second land, and then Phyrexian Tower, I can use this, sacrifice the Kami of Bamboo Groves for more mana next turn. Lotus Cobra, and then I assume some lands are falling. Yes, they are. They've got 1, 2, and then possibly 3. Wonder if they're gonna play more ramp off that, because they went ramp into ramp. I have Edict next turn, so I could Edict one of these. Oh, okay, so yes, more ramp. If they have a land in hand, they probably do. They seem kind of rampy. They're gonna put it into play and get more triggers from Lotus Cobra. So Omnath will be uncounterable. Also, they can use mana of any color for this. Are they gonna do anything with the last 2? It doesn't look like it. I got this Phyrexian Tower out. I'm gonna start by swinging with the Kami. Second main phase, sacrifice the Kami of Bamboo Groves in order to Edict them. A non-token creature will be sacrificed. Is it the elf or the snake? Cool. Priest of Forgotten Gods. And next turn, I have 2 1-drops that I could throw down, or Woe Strider, which comes with a 0/1, so I could sacrifice it. Really? Okay, well, I'm planning on getting rid of your Lotus Cobra anyway, so this is fine with me. Nice, a land. Do I plan on using the Woe Strider this turn? No. This is some milk. And I am going to get rid of the Woe Strider, which is my free sacrifice outlet, over the Patchwork Beastie. Let's see if I get anything from the mana here. It's just a swamp. Okay, don't care. They could play Omnath. They would just also need to pay 2 life. Right now, I don't have any way to, like, bring things out of the graveyard until I'm using Woe Strider. And I'm not going to use Woe Strider until I have a bunch of, like, lands and instants and sorceries. Things that don't count toward Aatchik. Jace Reawakened. Hi, Jace. This is the 2-mana Jace that you can't play on turn 2. They are plotting a demonic council. Okay, I'm milling. Sweet, number go up. Craterhoof Behemoth, what are you doing here? I will attack with the Patchwork Beastie and the Priest of Forgotten Gods at Jace. They have 2 mana up of any color. So it's like, what can I do about that? Or they're at 3 of 4. Yeah, I don't know what they'd be tutoring for here. I'm going to eat the Beastie and try to cast Aatchik. Now this could just get mana drained. I don't know. And the bugs are unleashed. Bug, 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 bug. If the bugs die, Aatchik drains them and she grows. You like the sound they make? The little skitter. So I don't know much about the speed brood. But my understanding is that the little bugs are the young ones, the humanoid ones are the medium-aged ones, and their cars are old bugs. And they all hope to go through enough molt cycles to one day themselves become cars. Which, sure, you know what? Live your best life. Dream the dream of becoming a car. They're not cracking that open to fill their graveyard to bring out the Uro, so what are they doing instead? I don't trust like that. I'm going to start with Priest of Forgotten Gods eating 2 bugs. I know they don't have a creature to sacrifice. Zony. The zone. Don't mind me just fiddling around with my deck. I didn't need to use the Phyrexian Tower, right? Because I was floating mana. Doesn't matter. You wouldn't want to become a car? You've seen how other people drive? Yo, an Aether Drift? You're telling me. So far, by the way, the theme of the many mana pips hasn't really come up. They have played no cards that have 3 or more colored mana pips. And they have a Chromatic Lantern out, so it's not like they don't have access to that. Great, and I guess we win. They didn't get a board wipe. They seemed a little stuck on lands. GG. Kellan, the Fae-Blooded. Kellan is going to be fetching an aura or I believe it's an equipment, and then gets bigger with more equipments. The more aura'd up an equipment he has, the bigger everybody gets. Let's start with the Llanowar Waste into Delighted Halfling. Ramp is good, ramp is fun. Ramp is what will get it done. So many cards. I'm going to play the Patchwork Beastie, so I can start self-milling, and then the Blood Artist, so when my creatures die, they get drained. Aatchik already, like, drains if insects die, but, you know, get a little extra in there. I'm super wide since I had that turn 1 ramp. Two mana? Are they tutoring? No, they are first enchanting their mountain with Chain to the Rocks. They're putting my Hobbit in jail. Would I like to mill? Yes. And I milled an enchantment creature that makes bugs. And I want to mill even more, so I'm going to use this Palantir of Orthanc and just pass the turn. In the end step, we scry. Oh, those are both lands. No. We want to mill creatures and artifacts. Yeah, that's a creature or artifact. Also, drain them for 6 life. Skyclave Apparition. They can permanently exile one of these. I would go for either the Orb or Blood Artist, depending on if they have other removal. There is removal on the auras that they can fetch for creatures. Because you could even get, like, Ossification. Ooh, Fury takes both of these out. And that was an Evoked Fury, exiling Chandra, Awakened Inferno. Really? That's in your deck? This I understand. It's just, like, good white removal. Fury I understand. He is even with, like, aura stuff. Not entirely sure I understand the Chandra. But you know what? It's a good card. I'm guessing it's in there because a good card. For 4 mana, what do? They tutor. And I just realized I don't have green mana up. Because it tapped it to play the Haywire Might. It's fine. I don't need to get rid of the chainsaw in response. I would have liked to. But I don't need it. I would have liked to get rid of the chain to the rocks. But I don't need it. Auto tapper. That chump. Swing in. Yeah, grabbing Ossification is oftentimes what I would grab with Kellan. Ooh, Stormforge Mystic lets them tutor for any equipment and then cheat equipment into play. Just need 2 mana for it. Shadow Spear, nice. They play it. Do they equip it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. At least I get a lot of bugs. Oh my gosh, we're getting another raid. I got a raid from Spike before. Now I'm getting a raid from Doomwake. Doomwake, welcome. Thanks for bringing the homies over. I'm playing bugs. Check it out. Bugs. You like bugs? I got 6 of them if you count my commander. Well, welcome raiders. I'm currently playing Brawl. This is my commander. She makes a bunch of bugs based on a number of creatures and artifacts in my graveyard. And she also bugs my opponent. Nobody? Okay. It's fine. Skyclave Apparition swinging in here. They could cheat something into play. I don't know what they got. Are you going to cheat into playing Embercleave? No? Alright, great. Aatchik grows and drains them because a bunch of bugs died. Also, I get a token. Its name is Samantha. I have avenged the orb. I wish I had avenged the orb. Kellan, just get out of here. Saying hi to Samantha. Thank you for saying hi to her. She appreciates it. They're revving up those friars, and I'm gonna swing in with all of these. Two creatures have died. I'm going to try to buff up this insect token here. Goodbye, Mesmeric Orb. +1/+1 counter on the bug. Gotta diversify my threats, right? Oh, they have protection. Well, if I just draw a land, I'll probably still swing in with Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Ooh, what do you tutor for? Calculating. They can search for any creature with a toughness 2 or less. Okay, they're going for removal. It's Solitude. I'm still going to animate Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Swing in with it, and I'll exile the Skyclave Apparition out of our graveyard. I doubt they have much reanimation, but I still want it gone. Okay, great. End the turn. They're not going to equip up the Recruiter. Just going to hold this to flash into play. Sure. Before combat, I'm going to play Chitinous Crawler. Hey, Cryu Ice, thank you so much for the sub. I can bring back some stuff from the graveyard here. I have exactly 8 permanents in my graveyard, so right now I can only bring back 1. And it's going to be this one. It's going to be Haywire Might. Shouldn't surprise anybody. In response, they're using Solitude. Are you going to get rid of the Crawler or Aatchik? They're getting rid of the Crawler. That's so smart, because otherwise I can keep recurring this. As I sacrifice it, I only have 1 green up. That's fine. We'd be hitting more. I'm getting rid of the 1 ring. It's an insect. She grows. The chainsaw grows too. And I'm going to swing with everything, and I'm going to do like a little Heart of the Cards moment here. If they block that 1/1, like, or even like this, yeah, I'm gonna try to buff up this illusion token so it survives. It was a land. I tried. More cards in graveyard is more good. I've got 2 ways to bring like all the lands back, and there's 1, 2, 3, sort of 4. Kellan the Fae-Blooded. Again, tutoring. Any aura or equipment card. Goodbye, Samantha. Samantha served us well. Ew, sheltered by ghosts. That card is ridiculous. They currently have 4 mana, which is not enough for Kellan and sheltered by ghosts. But I bet those two go so good together because he's got double strike. So giving him the lifelink and the ward is huge. Sheltered by ghosts. Do you hit Aatchik? They do. Now, do I think I'm going to be able to free her? No, so I'm going to put her back into my hand. Here's Aatchik. And we unleash more bugs! I will attack it just with the 2/2, not with the 1/1, since this has lifelink. It might be getting like a +6/+0 with that chainsaw next turn, too. Yeah, they could Kellan, give him a chainsaw, and put a shadow sphere on him, so he would gain an absurd amount of life during attacks. Are you gonna block or not? It's just a little guy. He's just a little bug who wants to grow up into a cool lady who wants to grow up to be a car. The fact that the Speed Brute turns into cars is still very funny to me. It's all they've ever wanted is to become a vehicle. It's like their retirement. Their honored retirement. They take 2. Oh, and Shadow Spear is holding priority because it's asking, oh, can I remove Indestructible? No, you can't remove Indestructible. Nobody has Indestructible here. Tiffany and Joe, thank you for the 28-month resub. They just want to participate in traffic. I guess one man's heaven is another man's hell. Yeah, if that bug wants to become car, that's great. I live in Boston. I try to avoid cars as much as I can. Friend? Hello? It's your go. Would you like to play with my bugs or not? Pondering. Do you think they got up to use the bathroom? Perhaps they pee-peed their pants and they have to clean it up. You can have such an absurd creature next turn. Do not salt rope me. They're taking a coffee break? If they're going to take a coffee break, at least, like, pay the 1 first so you pass priority. They might lose because of this. All right, I'll fast forward to the end of the ropes. Oh, well, it's their turn now, but I'm not actually sure if they've reconnected, so keep it up. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Hashaton, Scarab's Fist. Hashaton is going to be discarding cards and reanimating them while the discard is happening. You pay 3 mana, and then you can just get a token copy of the card. And the actual card actually still remains in your graveyard, so you can actually reanimate it too. They're gonna watch me do a bunch of pain. All in the name of ramp. It gets swordsed. Okay, that's fair. Rona. Hi, Rona. I have 2 different self-mill things here that I could play. I'm going to start with Ripples of Undeath. Yeah, Hashaton's very strong. So they have a discard outlet right here. They can use this to set up their hand and try to find whatever card it is they want in hand for next turn. Now, I can pay 1 to grab one of these, but I'm not sure it really changes anything, so I'm not going to. If they have something they want to bring out here, they can. I don't have any 3-drops I want to play, so bolting in a land doesn't do much. Just keep on milling. Just keep milling. Just keep milling. Hoping that the card they get isn't too thrilling. At least I have some removal. At least I have some removal. I'm up to 3 creatures in a graveyard. And also, notably, for the Analyst, I have 2 lands. They're drawing and then discarding. And the thing they discard is Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur. They will be drawing 7, and my hand size will be null. Now I can kill that using the Ravenous Chupacabra, but they've already drawn a full hand off it. I wish I could go for their discard engine here, but I can't. By the way, they can also discard to hand size in order to get this. They don't even need to use this. As long as they're discarding, they get the thing. And also, once they kind of stabilize at like 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, they can just cast these big spells anyway. Oh, it's other Jin-Gitaxias. This one doubles their instance. Like that. Oh, I love Grist. Is it binding the old gods, but I can't play it this turn. Still think I take it. And then go bug. Bug. Bug, bug. They draw. They discard. Is it going to be Massacre Worm? Elish Norn? Just a land. Just a land? Oh, they're inquiring about Kozilek. Twice. I have a Grist. Grist goes to the graveyard. An Arcane Signet for a bit of ramp. And Kitza, that's another looter. It's also a legend, so they can untap Rona. Chris likes hanging out in the graveyard. She does. Yeah, this is going to be countering my artifacts. Let's see, what did we get? Oh, a Jet Collector. Yes, please. It will be able to counter the Mox, but I can use that Mox to bait a counter. I have a 1-drop. I have Grist. Or Insidious Fungus. I think we do Insidious Fungus first, because I can't flip Grist. And this just chills in my hand. They draw, they discard, and there's a good chance they'll find the things they want for next turn between Kitza and Rona, because these are both loots, which means they draw first. There's some things that are like, you discard as part of the cost. Nope, not these guys. They surveil land into the graveyard. Rankle. Ooh, but a 4/4 Rankle. I only have 8 life left. Oh, right. Tapped. It's tapped, though. Rummage is more of a red ability for the draw discard abilities, but there's a bunch of other things that just discard as part of the cost. Which, like, in Hashaton specifically, one of my best cards has been the, it's a Spirit or an Illusion, I think. That becomes unblockable with a free discard. Because it doesn't have Summoning Sickness to use that ability. Pilferer. Yeah, Nimble Pilferer. Nope, that's Ragavan. Different one. Alright, what do we got here? Me not paying 3 life is what we've got here. I'm gonna pay 4 for Ravenous Chupacabra. And I think I should kill the Rankle. Ghostly Pilferer. Yeah, it's like, I'd like to kill you, Hashaton. But I'm kind of in an awkward spot here. It gets milled anyway. Hey, Xanatop, thank you for the 6-month resub. I'm just like waiting for the other foot to drop here. All right. Ghostly Pilfer, hey, we were just talking about you. Virtue. And do they have... trying to think if they have enough mana to cast it. They do. Thank you, Red, for the bits. They're reanimating Jingatax's Core Augur so they can refill their hand. And also copy Rite of the Moth to bring out Rankle. Help my life total. They're drawing a couple cards. It's just a few. It's fine. He didn't attack with Rankle, though. This is too many Jingataxis. Oh, is there anything cool I could turn this into? Not that would make a huge difference here. And things I could reanimate. I do have some good ones. Grist can destroy an enchantment. Plague Crafter gets rid of one thing. Analyst would bring back a bunch of lands, which would get me a Scoot Swarm indeed. I'm gonna try that first. Lots and lots of milling. I will use Binding the Old Gods to take out Jin. Oh, it's been mana drained, so no, I won't. And listen, it's gonna get countered anyway. I'll just have to discard them all. Oh boy, mana drain. Don't you love it? Now they can reanimate things. Hi, Valgavoth. Steal my killed creatures. At least Aatchik would make a lot of bugs, but that's not that helpful. Oh, hi, Elishnorn. I was waiting for that one. And we die. Yep, getting the discard immediately into Hashaton. And a turn 4, you know, Jingataxis. Let's just say there's a reason it costs 10 mana. GG. Plagen, Lord of the Beach. It's going to be a blink deck and a big booty deck, a big booty blink deck. When this enters, you get to draw cards based on a number of creatures with a higher toughness than power. Also, we're getting raided. Thank you for the raid, Ben Wheeler, another fan of the fine Singleton formats. So many raids today. How nice. It's because I just came back from my my trip to a place where I was playing Commander with someone. I don't know. Something happened. You'll find out soon. You'll find out soon. You might even find out before this video comes out. Okay, Triskaidekaphile cares about lots of cards in hand. And also has a big booty. Good for her. I'm gonna swing in with Grist. They don't trade. I will mill one creature. Oh, Ravenous Chupacabra. That's a pretty good one. Might reanimate that. That would kill old Stick Fingers, by the way, reanimating it. But it would also flip Grist. So, you know, worth it. Worth it? Maybe. Maybe. Head Shredder's pretty nice. It's another way for me to self-mill. If I want to do Rankle, I would have to name Fairy or Rogue on Cavern of Souls here. I'll just do Head Shredder. And swing in with Grist. Felt cute. Might reanimate later. Yeah, right now I'm trying to fill up my graveyard for Aatchik. Because she's a good bug. They draw 3. Oh, I'm sorry. They draw 4. Which does notably leave them with 9 cards in hand. I'm saying notably because if they hit 13, they have an alternate win con. They also have 1 mana up, which they could use for Plagen's ability or something else if they have it. I don't know what they got. Head Shredder. Ooh. Insect. Hi, this is Fumulus. Whenever an insect, or like slug, leech, worm, whatever, attack, they lose life and I gain life. Yippee! I also get to mill myself. And if I mill any lands, they'll come into play. No, but that is a hoof. I like that. I like a hoof. I like a hoof in the graveyard quite a bit. I might just go for lethal off reanimating it. Reanimate. It's a good card. Are they gonna blink it? I feel like they're gonna go shishwa. Yeah, like how likely do I think it is that they can win here? I don't know. I want them to blink. They're trying to get to 13 cards. So, like, as far as they can see, this will win them the game. Because that should be 10, right? 12. Oh, is it? It's not at the beginning of the first main. It's the beginning of upkeep. So this doesn't win for them. I'm sorry. So I don't need to, I don't know, reanimate and Ravenous Chupacabra. Charlie the Strike, thank you for the 54-month resub. I thought they might have been at 13. No, I didn't account for the fact that Cloud Shift would leave. Now they have 13. Oh, they have 12 again. Ruined it. Ruined it. If they have counter spells here, I'll just, like, accept this as truth. I'm going to attempt a reanimate on Craterhoof Behemoth. In response to these things, I have some actions I'm taking. The first one is crewing. I actually was gonna flip after. I meant to order these in the opposite way, so I'd get a buff for having more creatures, but this is fine. Oh, my beautiful buggies. Yeah, so it would have each had 1 more power. They're ephemorating Plagen because they just really want to keep drawing. Do you get like an achievement for having 15 cards in hand? I think there is actually something that's like end a turn with more than 10 cards in hand. Looking for solitude? Ah, why not? Pretty sure that's still lethal. Okay. You still die? They still die. Because number go. And number win. GG Plagen. Acererak the Archlich. Acererak is a combo commander. He ventures into the dungeon and ventures into the dungeon and then ventures into the dungeon, but he never does his own dungeon, the Tomb of Annihilation. He's usually doing the dungeon of the Mad Mage. You bring Acererak's cost down to 0. You make him free to cast, or that he refunds your mana in some way, or untaps your mana rocks with a Paradox Engine, and you just keep casting him until he goes. Thoughtsies? Yes, I have thoughts. That makes me very glad I played this first. They could hit the thing I'm going to play on turn 2. I do have an alternate turn 2. Ooh, they went for Altar of Dementia. They do not want to get milled out. Shame, I want to mill them out. I actually don't even think I would ever mill them out. This is just like a free sacrifice engine that does self-milling and is nice with Aatchik. Mind Spike. Sure, you draw a card. If I play this here, they just discard, and I'm going to take that. Yeah, Stormweaver's real fun. Same with Fumulus. It's cool that we have more, like, insect synergy now. So I don't just have to build this deck as Golgari Sacrifice or Golgari Self-Mill. Right now, I do have 2 lands in the graveyard. Not bad, Aftermath Analyst. They're drawing 3 cards and losing life. Okay. Just digging for combo pieces, then. Maybe lands? I wonder if they have, like, a Bajuka Bog and are like, do I want to save it? Trust me, use it now. Thinking? Thinking's for chumps. Just take the action. Play the card. Swarm Weaver. Gonna make 2 bugs. Bug. What's been changed for alchemy for Acererak? I believe it's the when he attacks ability was changed. For some reason that I don't know why. So you can kind of tell that the sun is now coming in. It's coming in strong. Always makes a token and doesn't force a sacrifice on that. Okay, so now this only costs 2. Morbid Opportunist. As creatures die, we'll be drawing them cards. So opponent, is it Morbid time? No! I wanted to drain you with my buggy attacks. Alright. I'm gonna wait until they go to kill one of my creatures. If they don't go to kill one of my creatures, I guess I could attack with all of those. I'm just gonna crack this anyway. Oh yeah, it changes nothing about his venture into the dungeon ability for the people asking what he does here. All right. The reason I'm doing this now is so the Morbid Opportunist won't be drawing on their turn as well. So I get my lands. I can now play Aatchik. Sun, leave me alone. It's making me glow. Unholy Annex will draw them cards and lose them life until they have a demon. They'll have a demon eventually, probably. Bright Amy. I'm always bright. You calling me dumb? Fight me. Fight me in my army of bugs. This is so much card draw. I guess it works, but you're paying a lot of life for it. Aatchik. Some of this, some of that, one of these, one of those, one of use. Take out that Morbid Opportunist. I just don't feel like dealing with it. Swinging for one. And next turn, Fumulus, if they, I don't know, find a way to not be dying from killing the bugs, should finish them off. Okay, they're just gonna kill themselves. Will I move my commander to the command zone? Sure. Now, do you have a Toxic Deluge? Nope. Good game. They know about Fumulus. I can also just attack. It's lethal either way. GG. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Aatchik did great for me. She's very fun, and I feel like she is a more honed-in version of a Zoni. Not just triggering off of an additional card type, but also just having this, I guess, self-synergizing ability, not requiring you to hold up mana, but still being really fun. You can make this deck more of an insect synergy deck, adding in things like roaming, throwing in a few of the other insects, and really benefiting from cards like Fumulus, or you could take it more into a self-mill direction, taking out cards like Swarm Weaver and Blex in order to put in more things to fill up the graveyard. I did have a lot of fun getting to play Aatchik though, and in general, I tend to like Golgari decks. And what's fun about this Golgari deck is it's actually running very few of the things that are like destroy a non-land permanent, because I tried to make it so I had very few non-creature, non-insect cards in the deck outside of a couple lands. I actually thought about putting some artifact lands in the deck, and they're just not really worth putting in. If we had the ones that's like always come in untapped, they're more vulnerable to artifact and enchantment removal, but they do count towards Aatchik's ability, so they're worth considering. If you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description of the video. And if you would like to suggest a commander, please let me know in a comment. Also, if you did this commander, please let me know, because I've seen her like once ever. Maybe this will get more people to play her. She's not bad. She's pretty fun. Golgari decks tend to be pretty fun. Yeah, please let me know, because we're getting so close to Dragonstorm, Tarkir, the next Magic set. You're also welcome to suggest commanders from that. I'm probably going to be doing some theory crafting on them because, well, life is better with Baedor. That's going to be probably my first build. Kidding me? Big butt dragons. I love Arcades and I love Baedor too. So we're going to have a lot of fun. I am not sure yet if we're getting the pre-con commanders in Arena, so we'll see. Also, if you want to suggest an old commander for me to revisit, I know somebody's been suggesting Sir Gwyn, please let me know. Some of them are a little tricky just because, you know, recording them in the Brawl queue is tough, but I will try to get to them if I can. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.